Playing his first game in nearly a year and a half tomorrow against the Phillies. A-Rod will be DH and is likely to get 2 or 3 at-bats. The Yankees open spring training today at the Phillies, but A-Rod isn't making the trip and will stay behind to fill grounders and take batting practice. Expectations for one A-Rod. I start with you first, Kate.
0. None. No expectations. I stopped having expectations for this guy a while ago. I mean, it's so interesting because even 2 weeks ago, the wonderful writer J.R. Moringer had a great cover story in ESPN, The Mag, the education of Alex Rodriguez. And if that story could not make you sympathetic to Alex Rodriguez, nothing could. I mean, to me, he's beyond rehabilitation when it comes to his image. I mean, he got on Twitter, he tried to do that, he just doesn't come across as likable. I mean, you even see a guy like Kobe was able to rehabilitate his image over the last 5 years. He's become almost likable. Yeah. And part of the reason is...
Well...
You must like him.
I do, because I'm a Laker fan, but I don't think everybody really likes Kobe. He's the guy you love to hate, and you kind of respect him.
But there's a chunk of people who like him.
It doesn't seem to be as much against him as it used to be.
There is no chunk of people. And part of it is, like, LeBron James, you know what that story is. Kobe, you know what that story is. LeBron's the king who's always been fighting and on top. And Kobe is, like, the ultra-competitive guy who will do anything to win. Somebody define Alex Rodriguez for me. It's so slippery. It changes.
Liar.
You don't know.
I think people just think he's a
okay,
liar.
well then there you go. That's why maybe my expectations are 0. Now you talk on the field. He's going to be the designated hitter. He's going to get a couple at bats. I can't get too excited about that. I know we're going to talk about it, but in terms of his on-field production, I'm not expecting much.
7 home runs, 19 RBIs, 244 batting average when he played in 2013 in 44 games. And that's when he was juicing. So what is he not going to do now that he's no longer part of a PED situation and back with the New York Yankees? Kate, I'm with you. If he bats 260, they should throw a ticker tape parade down the Canyon of Heroes for Alex Rodriguez. He's going to be 40 years of age. He's a broken-down baseball player. My sympathy meter went to ground zero with him the second time that he said, you know what, I did it again, and I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, look, the baseball gods gave you anything that a baseball player could ever want. Great arm, great ability to run, great bat, great smile, telegenetic personality. And what did you do? You decided to throw it all away because either you had an ego problem, or you were too sensitive, or you're always trying to search for something that you were never able to find. My sympathy meter with him is at 0. I'm not even saying that he's not going to do the best. I'm not saying I'm not rooting for him. I'm just saying I don't care. I've gotten to that point right now. I'm like, look, dude, do whatever you want. And if I'm the New York Yankees, I know he's owed $61 million for the next 3 years, and it's guaranteed money, so he wants his money. He needs his money. He's going to get his money. Just pay him the $61 million and have done with it, because this is only going to be a distraction. And I wonder, when will they get to that point where they say it's not worth it for us to keep him around, especially...
Pride. That's what they were dealing with, pride and ego.
Well, you know, the Yankees brought this on themselves because nobody was bidding against them when they gave him a 10-year, $275 million contract. Everybody's like, oh, you want to pay him that money? If you're dumb enough to do that, he should be stupid enough to take it. So pay him his money, move the distraction out of the way. This way he can move on, do whatever he wants, and you can move on as a Yankees organization.
It's crazy. We were just talking about billionaires. When his contracts are all said and done, over $500 million just from salary alone. J.R. Moringer had a great... I love the piece on him, and he had a great line in there because you were talking about his stats when he was on, and he said only A-Rod would have the type of luck where he's on stage and can't get the right PEDs, where he still falls apart and still can't produce on the field. I'll be watching A-Rod this season. I think he's polarizing. I think people love to hate him, as they probably should. I mean, he's lied. He's a fraud. I mean, I think that's another term.
That's a very, yeah.
And I heard SVP and Priscilla the other day were talking, and they were saying, who do you not like more? Who do you hate more? Is it him or Lance Armstrong? So those are probably the 2 most hated athletes. Lance Armstrong has been prevented from competing again. Where A-Rod has a chance to do it, I personally would love to see a comeback story, a turnaround story, but my expectations, like you, were 0. I don't know if he has it health-wise. I don't know if in the ESPN, the magazine piece, he does sound like a mental basket case. It's really sad. And a lot of people have the mindset of, well, he's got hundreds of millions of dollars. He's going to make $61 million. Who cares? He's got to be happy. And for me, I see somebody who clearly isn't happy. And that, to me, full disclosure, I know Alex Rodriguez. We played against each other in high school. We played on some all-star teams together. Kept in touch with him a little bit through the first decade of our pro careers. And then I sort of fell off. I see him every few years now. But every time I've seen him, he's a likable guy. I know him. We kind of revert back to our high school days. We tell stories. And I wish people could get to see that side of him. And it's probably the saddest thing out there because all he wants, and really deep down inside, is to be liked. So he's tried to portray this person that's supposed to be liked, and he thought he could get it through breaking records and being this baseball player. And then he's tried to portray this certain image, and people see right through it, where I wish if he was just himself, that people might like him.
Well, Danny, full disclosure, I've actually met him too, and Danny is correct. Very personable, very likable, but you can't get past what is already there.
Right.
So how does he go about changing it or turning it around? Because winning is, it's not what it takes for winning will solve all and change how we feel.
I think in New York, I mean, if they won a World Series and A-Rod was hitting 300 and 30,
we wouldn't.
There'd be a lot of forgiveness.
No, there would be forgiveness, but people would question whether it was clean.
Absolutely.
But I think if he was, and he tries to be honest. And yet, I mean, even in his first press conference just the other day, I'm watching him at spring training, and it's almost like he's trying to be genuine instead of, I don't even trust his genuineness.
Exactly.
You know, like, and it's such a hard...
disingenuous all the time.
He's trying to be genuine. Why can't he just be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, even the letter he wrote instead of the press conference.
Absolutely.
Right.
It was, I mean, could that anything ostensibly be more genuine than a handwritten note in cursive signed Alex?
Right. And yet people mocked it. And
Well,
it
because
does
yet there
sound
were
like
so many walls up there.
Because it seems planned. It seems like he's hired a PR group to rehabilitate himself instead of just going there and doing his job. And putting his
That
head
seems
down and do what he has
focus
to
group.
do.
Absolutely. 19 people said do this. 4 people said do that. Go with the 19. The one thing I worry about Alex Rodriguez, when his baseball career is over, that's when I want to watch, because he's been so defined by being a baseball player, probably since he was 4 or 5 years of age. When that's not going to be a part of his normal anymore, and that may happen sooner than later, then that's when I think a lot of the Alex Rodriguez and what is he like or what he wanted to be is going to come out. And I wonder how much good that's going to be, because he has been so tied to that sport. Everything that he has based his manhood on, his ego, his life, his money, everything about him has been based on what he can do in the baseball field. Well, when you're not able to do that anymore because Father Time is undefeated, if he was on the couch before,
oh, please.
what is that going to be like when his baseball career is over and he doesn't have that to fall back on?
Maybe he doesn't have the pretense of having to be that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you take away that weight, maybe we will see a more authentic Alex. So. But then again, maybe he's been doing it for so long.
He just doesn't know how. Yeah. What ended with, we all do wish him the best. For all. We really do.
No expectations.
No expectations. Let's talk about some...
I don't think you mortgage the future and trade up, such an expensive move, unless you're sure you do not have your future QB on your roster. I'm not so sure of that in Philly. I really like Nick Foles.
I do too.
His last full year with Philly before the injury, he had 27 TDs and 2 interceptions. Those numbers are incredible. He's 6'6". He's only 26 years old. I think they got to give this guy the ball back, see what he can do for them, and then maybe if you decide after you have seen him more, come back from this injury, maybe then in the future, 2 years from now, you go some other direction at QB. But no, you cannot mortgage the future for Mariota.
I love Nick Foles.
DK, what did you pay her to say that, DK?
See? I was a Nick Foles believer.
Fool's aid. They're drinking the Kool-Aid. Go ahead.
They don't need a quarterback. They need cornerbacks. Seriously. I mean,
you're right.
Did they not see guys get posted last year by Des Bryant by the Cowboys or by the Washington Redskins the game after that? I know the seduction of Marcus Mariota is wonderful because you run that offense in Philadelphia, but come on. Nick Foles, I know, had a down year before he broke his collarbone. Trust in that guy, re-sign Jeremy Maclin, and get guys that can cover wide receivers, not another quarterback to throw to wide receivers.
Would you guys agree with him? That is their biggest need. They need some corners.
If we'd gone one more on that on our pick, I had to go to the Eagles. I had McCourty going to the Eagles.
I have McCourty going to the Jets.
Shore up
Played
all
at
that.
Rutgers, played him going to the Jets.
Anybody going to the Jets, we can't trust you now.
What are you talking about?
You said you're a Jets fan.
Jets more than I
She's
did.
a Giants fan, though, so she already said it, full disclosure.
I'm sorry. That's what makes me...
Danny, thank you for joining us. I know
you.
you're on vacation after this. You have been so wonderful to us. I appreciate you filling in. So for Kate and Freddie, I'm Carrie Champion. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Have a great afternoon, everyone.